Okay. So chapter 2, sorry, economics. Economic concepts of scarcity and choice. So start. So when we talk about economics, we said economics is a social science because it's a social science because it studies human behavior between ends and scarce means that have alternative uses.
Yes.
When we talk about ends, it means needs and wants. So as an individual, you every now and then you think about things that are important that you cannot do without. And at the same time, you think about things that would elevate you, things that make you to feel like great.
Yes.
So that is wants. So both of them are between the ends. Then the scarce means we have limited resources. It's always limited in supply. So we have limited resources. And whatever we have, there are alternative uses. So if we don't use, this is a pen. We can use a pen to write. We can use it to draw. Whatever we can use it to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
So whenever there's scarcity, we start thinking about the alternatives. So that is what economics study. That's why we call it a social science, which studies human behavior between ends and scarce means that have alternative uses. I think it's clear. So we have to make choices. Why do we have to make choices? We have to make choices because there's scarcity. So what are the consequences of making choice? Number one, it is impossible to spend limited amount of income on two things. So choice has to be made. So the first consequence is that as individuals, it is assumed that we don't have enough income. And because we don't have enough income, it means we have to spend and make choices. So the limited amount of money we have with us is not going to be enough. So we have to make a scale of preference. I don't write about that. We call it scale of preference. This is the list of our wants according to how important they are. You have a list. So when your mom said, oh, make a list of whatever you need, you're going to make a list.
Yes.
So the first thing you like, you put it in the front, and so that's what the scale of preference is. Why do you have a list? You have a list because you cannot buy everything on that list at the same time. Did you get it? So that's why we have a scale of preference, and that is the first consequence of choice. We cannot buy everything because our income is not enough to buy everything. Two, decision making is needed. So if you are going to choose A, you check the cost and the cost benefit analysis of A. So what is the advantages in A, buying A, choosing A? What are the problems about choosing A or buying A? So you check, and what is the advantage of choosing A, B? And what is the problem about choosing B? So you check, that's what we call cost benefit analysis. So the first thing is that your income is not enough. And that's why you're making a choice. The second one is that you have to think about the cost benefit. Oh, if I'm choosing A, is it good for me to choose A at this time? Or it's preferable to choose B at this time? You check, you use cost benefit analysis to do that. And the last thing is, whatever decision you make, there's what opportunity cost. So just like the government, if the government of Libya choose to build schools, those that do not need school will not be happy. Oh, we need road. Yeah, we need road. We need hospital. The government is building schools. There are a lot of schools. If the government is building hospital, people say, oh, we have a lot of hospitals. We can afford hospital. Why is government building hospital? They should build road. They should build bridges. We don't have electricity. So whatever government produces, there's always going to be an opportunity cost. People would still complain. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, and remember, why are they complaining? They are complaining because the taxpayer money is used. I pay tax, you pay tax. But I want my tax to be used for what I want. You want your tax to be used for what you like. But government is going to, I want education. Government is building road. I'm not going to be happy. But you want road and you pay taxes, you will be happy. So for every choice made, there are some people that won't still be happy.
Yes.
Does you get it?
Yeah.
You get it? So that's about the consequence of making choice. Any question about that? So that takes us to factors of production. Thank you. So for factors of production, we're talking about resources that helps in the production of goods and services. We cannot produce whatever we have, the wristwatch, the band, the chair, the shirt I'm putting on, whatever we have, teaching that I'm doing right now, without the factors of production, we can't have it. So that's why we call them, that's why we said factors of production are the resources that help in the production of goods and services. So without land, labor, capital, enterprise, we can't have goods, we can't have services. Do you get the point I'm making here? So because they are factors of production, they help us to produce goods, to provide services. So we call them factor inputs. What do I call them? Inputs. We call them factor inputs. Inputs. From inputs to processing, then output. Do you get it?
Yes.
So that's the definition of factors of production. They might ask you in the exam, what is factor of production? That's why these are resources that help in the production of goods and services. Not when they ask you define factors of production, you write land, labor, capital, enterprise. No, it's different. The definition is different from the factors of production. So listing the factors of production, we start with land. Land is fixed in nature. It is natural endowment. It is nature. Example, mountains, mountains, plantation, river. Whatever you have on land is land. Do you get it? Whatever is on land is what? Land. And the reward for land is rent income. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that anyway. So that's about land. Any question about land? Then we have labor. What is labor? Labor is the human effort, physically or mentally, that helps in the production of goods and services. I'm teaching. I'm a teacher. It's labor. So we call them physical, which is like the swag, the painters, the bricklayers. They use physical effort. But for teachers, doctors, lawyers, they use mental effort. So it is human effort, either physically or mentally, that helps in the production of goods and services. Do we get that?
Yes.
Any question about that? So that's labor now. Labor, right?
Yeah. Now we go to capital.
Capital, good. So for capital, we're talking about equipment, resources that help to build wealth. So wealth used in producing other wealth. You can say wealth used in producing other wealth. Because with equipment, with machines, you produce goods. With equipment, you produce goods. So it's wealth that is used in producing other wealth. Or you could say human-made resources. Human-made resources that helps in the production of goods and services. Human-made. Because the laptop I'm using, the phone I'm using right here, they are human-made. It's not natural. Do you understand? Yes. It is made by human. That's why I call it human-made resources that help in the production of goods and services. I think it's clear. Example, equipment, machines, they are tractor, yes. They are human resources. Laptop. Then we have enterprise. So we can't have land, labor, capital without the idea of an entrepreneur. So enterprise is the idea of an entrepreneur. That's the reason why we can have land, labor, capital, because the entrepreneur organizes land, labor, and capital. Do you get it?
Yes.
So that is about land, labor, capital, and enterprise. Then what are the rewards of the factors of production? For land, the reward is rent income. For labor, it is wages or salary. For capital, it is interest, because it continues to add over time. It continues to increase over time. That's why it is interest. And enterprise, it's profit. The main reason why you're setting up a business or you choose to take a risk, putting your money into an investment, is for return on investment. And the return on investment is called what? Profit. Any question about that? Good. I'll be right back. So go to production possibility curve or production possibility frontier. When we talk about a PPF, it's a graph, like you can see. It's a graph that shows the combination of two goods. Like in the laptop here, in the screen, we have vehicle and machine. Vehicles and machines. So it's a combination of two goods that can be produced if all resources are fully utilized with technology. Because sometimes we need technology, and if we don't have technology, we cannot produce goods. So that's why when you are defining production possibility curve, you say it is a graph that shows different combination of goods that can be produced if all resources are fully utilized with technology. Are fully utilized with technology. That is PPL or PPC is the same. So we have consumer goods and capital goods. The combination of both goods that can be produced with the given level of output is called PPF. I think the point is clear. So on the screen, though I didn't say much about it, but because I quickly went to causes of outward shift in the PPF. Well, the PPF is there. It's a graph like this. So in this graph, at 100,000 units, that means we can only produce vehicles. At 100,000 units, we can only produce vehicles. At 60,000 units, we can only produce machines. So if you have to produce machines at full capacity, we won't be able to produce vehicles. It will be zero vehicles. And if we have to use the resources we have to produce vehicles, it means we're going to produce zero machines. But we can produce in between. There could be movement along the PP curve. So A, C, and B are within the boundary. So we can produce at A or C or B. Producing at C means we are producing maybe 40,000 units of machines and maybe 61 or 62,000. Or 62,000 of vehicles. So in between we can produce, that's why we said the combination of goods that we can produce if all resources are fully utilized. Point X here. Point X is unattainable because we don't have resources. It's outside the boundary. It's what? Outside the boundary. We don't have resources to produce at that point. The point Y is inside the boundary. It means we have not fully used our resources. Because our resources are fully used at A, C, or B. Do you get it? So these are the points in which we can produce goods without any issues. But inside the PPF, it means they are unemployed resources. What do I call it? Unemployed resources. It means there are resources that we have not fully utilized. But point X, it's not possible. Okay. So move on. So for point X, that means outside the PPF. For us to reach outside of the PPF, and that is what? The causes of outward shift in the PPF. But right now, point A, C, B are on the boundary, which means there's possibility to produce vehicles and machines. But when you produce more vehicles, you produce less machines. When you produce more machines, you produce less vehicles. That is what the PPF is talking about. There's always going to be an opportunity cost. Do you get it?
Yes.
Okay, shall we move on?
Yes.
Okay. So there's movement, like movement is understood, movement from A to B, or A to C, or C to B, or B to C, or C to A. That's movement through the boundary. Then we go to, now go to they said critical analysis. While opportunity cost is a key concept in your study of economics, there are some problems when using the idea. At times, not all alternatives are known, or there may be not enough information about other choices and their cost. Some resources may not have alternative uses. So, well, this is just aside. This is part of what we need to know. But we talked about them before. We said, when I was telling you about alternative uses, some resources do not have alternative uses. So because they don't have alternative uses, you can't talk about substitutes. And when there's no substitute, there's no opportunity cost. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, and the other one is that sometimes the time you have to make decision is too short because you need a lot of information. You need information to make decision. So if there's no time to access information, that means you might be making a wrong decision. So that's just a way by. I think it's clear.
Yes, please.
So that takes us to the causes of outward shift in the PPF. So there's a shift in the PPF. Are you there?
Yeah.
We have it. So what will bring about an outward shift in the PPF? We have advancement in technology. We have increase in population. That's probably, we could talk about increase in the supply of labor. Discovery of new natural resources. I didn't write that, but it's part of it. Discovery of natural resources, then efficiency of resources. So these are things that would shift the PPF outward, not movement. Movement is through the boundary. But when it comes to outward shift, it means outside the boundary. Do you get it? So we're going to start with advancement in technology. Technology makes things to become better and faster. Yes or no? So with advancement in technology, it means we can do better than what we used to do. And doing better than what we used to do will increase our output. And if our output is increasing more than what it used to increase, it brings about an outward shift from PPF1 to PPF2. Please don't forget that PPF1 to PPF2. Increase in supply of labor. And when we talk about supply of labor, the meaning of supply of labor is the numbers of workers making themselves available for job. The numbers of workers making themselves available for job. That is supply of labor. We're not there yet, just putting it to you. When we get to labor market, we'll talk about it. But when it comes to supply of labor, the meaning, it means the numbers of workers making themselves available for job. So if the numbers of people making themselves available for job increases, it means a lot of people will be working. And because a lot of people are working, output will increase. And it will increase productivity. And if productivity is increasing, output will definitely increase. And that will bring about a rightward shift from PPF1 to PPF2. Still the same. Do you get that?
Yeah.
So, and the third one here, okay, let's talk about natural resources. So, like for example, now in Libya, they said in certain area in Libya, probably between the Libyan or Tunisia border, that they just discovered oil. I don't know the area.
Yeah.
I heard that they discovered oil in one area now. So because they have discovered oil in Libya, it means Libya will be producing more than what it used to produce in terms of oil. And that will shift the PPF curve right outward from PPF1 to PPF2. That's discovery of natural resources. And the last one here is improvement of inefficiency. Improvement means you get better in what you do. So when you get better in what you do, it will lead to the best use of resources. So before now, maybe you use 1,000 units to produce 5,000 quantities. But with efficiency, you might be using 800 units to produce more than 5,000 quantities. And that means you can produce more. Producing more means your PPF will shift rightward from PPF1 to PPF2. So that ends production possibility curve or frontier. Any question about it? Okay. So we go to economy now. So we go to an economy. We call it an economy because an economy, Libya is also an economy. So Libya has to solve the problem of Libya. So to solve it, we call it, that's why we said an economy is a system that is trying to solve the basic economic problem. So the economic problem of Libya is the same economic problem of Nigeria, Turkey, USA, whatever country it is. The same economic problem is what we have, which is what scarcity. So that's why economy is what? An economy is a system that is trying to solve the basic economic problem of scarcity. I think it's clear. So from there, we have different economic agents. We have individuals, we have firms, and government. Then we have the non-governmental organizations. So you can have that. Non-governmental organizations. Non-governmental organizations. We call them NGOs. NGOs. Like the IOM, they are NGOs. They are non-governmental organizations. They use resources too. So all these economic agents, they have the same problem, which is scarcity. Individuals have the same problem of scarcity. Firms have the same problem of scarcity. Government has the same problem of scarcity. Non-government organizations have the same problem of scarcity. We're going to talk further about them anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
NGOs.
Okay, yes, good. So that's the last note there. Okay, we're going to talk about them afterwards.
Yeah, all right.
So we go to the different types of economy we have. Economic system. We have the planned system, we have the market system, and the combination of the planned and the market, which is the mixed economy. So we're going to start with the free market, which is the same as market economy. Okay, I start with the planned here. Okay, we call it a planned economy because what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce to is decided by the government. So here I wrote, resources allocation is decided by the government. Example, North Korea and Cuba. These are countries that use a planned system. So the government of Cuba, the government of North Korea decide what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce to. That's a planned economy. I think it's clear.
Yeah.
Then we have the market economy. Why do we call it a market economy? We call it a market economy because what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce to, which is allocation. Everything I've said now is about what? Allocation of resources. What to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce is what we call allocation of resources. But in the market system, it's decided by the individuals. That's the market system of demand for and supply of. So that means firms, businesses, they decide what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce to. So these firms are what we call the price mechanism. What do I call them?
Price mechanism.
Yeah, the price mechanism. Where is it? Do I write price mechanism here? I did not write it. Okay. So yeah, it's the same as demand for and supply is the same as the price mechanism. Price mechanism. Price mechanism. We're talking about the price mechanism is about the price. Who set the price? Businesses, right? And sometimes they set price based on what customer needs. So that's why I call them the price mechanism. Demand for and the supply of. Do you get that, please? Any question about that? Okay.
Examples for is Hong Kong and Austria.
Yeah, free markets, yes.
Free market.
Hong Kong and Australia. Australia. Oh yeah, Australia. In these two countries, everything is decided by the people, the businesses, firms. They decide what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce to. I think it's clear. Then we have the mixed economy, which most of the countries are practicing. America, Libya, Nigeria, Mexico, South Korea, UK, most of the countries in the world, they practice what we call the mixed, Ireland also, they practice what we call mixed economy. But the point is, some countries use more of the market system than the plan system, while other countries use more plan system than market system. But in as much as we have both plan and market system present in a country, we call it mixed economy. Get the point I'm making here? In as much as we have both the plant system and the market system in the country, it is a mixed economy. But the extent to which a country is more planned than more market differs. Nigeria might have maybe 60% of planned and 40% of market. America might have 70% of market, 30% of planned. It depends. But in as much as they have both, it is what? A mixed economy. I think it's clear.
Yeah.
So that's about it. So now that resources are scarce, there's what we call the basic economic question. That is fundamental economic questions for scarcity. So we have what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce to. So for what is to be produced, we're talking about the type of product that the economy needs to produce. Oh, there's scarcity. That means we have to make a choice. So if we are making a choice, it means we have to choose the type of product we can produce at this time. That is what to produce. Get the point here, there's scarcity. With scarcity, it means we have to choose the type of product we need to produce. So what do we produce now? What is to be produced? The type of product the economy needs. Example, infrastructure. So that is what we need to produce. Oh, example, education. Oh, example, healthcare. Oh, example, electricity. What is to be produced? Now, how do we produce it? The process. Oh, we want infrastructure. How do we produce infrastructure? Do we need people to produce it, or we need machines, or we need to import people from China, or we need to employ people from China? We need to import machines, or whatever we need to do the infrastructure is how to produce. What to produce is the type of product we need to produce. Oh, we need to produce phones in Libya. That's what we want to produce. People need phones, so we are producing phones. How do we produce the phones? Are we going to produce it in Libya, or we import it from China or Hong Kong or wherever it is? That is how to produce. Do you understand how to produce?
For whom?
For whom? Infrastructure is needed by who? Oh, the people of Misrata need infrastructure. So we have to produce infrastructure in Libya, but for people of Misrata. So who are those that will benefit from this decision about what to produce? So it is what to produce, decision about the product, how to produce, the process, for whom to produce, who are going to be who are those that are going to be beneficial, who are those that are going to be benefiting from this decision we make about production. That is what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce to. Do you get what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce to?
Yes.
Any question about that? Good. Okay, hold on, please. Hold on. So we go to economic participants. And who are those economic participants? They are the economic agents. What do I call them? Economic agents. Economic agents. So what do? They have different functions and different roles they play in the economy. So we're going to start with we, individuals. As individuals, what do? We buy goods and services, right? And aside that, we also offer ourselves for work in exchange for wages. So as an individual in this country, I participate in terms of I buy goods and services in Libya, and aside that, I work in Libya for money, for wages. So that is individuals. Is it clear? Then we have businesses. What are the roles businesses take part in the economy? They utilize the 4 factors of production for profit. They make goods and services to make for profit, yes or no? And when they make profits, they pay taxes. Aside that, they even employ workers. So that is their own role as businesses or firms. Businesses or firms, yeah. Then the government. What is the role of the government? it provides facilities for other economic agents. So without governments providing road, street lights, bridges, who will provide it? Will school provide those things? No, because they are public goods. So you can say government will provide what? Public goods. You can say, well, government provide what? It provides public goods. That alone is okay. Public goods. It provides public goods. For example, road, bridges, street lights, infrastructure, water, electricity. This is what government provides. Do you understand? And government does not provide it for just individuals. Government provides it for the rest of economic participants.
Businesses, NGOs.
Whoever. Government does not have anybody that it favors. Government does everything for the country.
Okay.
So that's why I said it provides facilities for other economic agents, individuals, firms, NGOs, and even government for itself. Do you understand? Then the NGOs, for the NGOs, what do? They want the society to become a better place. So they take care of those that are disadvantaged in the society. I want to talk about those that are disadvantaged, maybe shelter, those that do not have money, income to buy goods or services. They are disadvantaged people. So government will provide for them. Society, the charity organizations, the NGOs will provide for them. So for the NGOs, they only take care of those who are disadvantaged
in the society.
The society, those that lack certain things in the society. So that is what they do. Do you understand? So their focus is what? On social beneficial services for disadvantaged people in the society. So we have consumers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's their conflict and the rest. So we have consumers. Who are consumers? Individuals that buy goods and services. These are consumers. So they buy goods and services in exchange for money to satisfy their needs. But remember, you can't just talk about consumers buying goods. When you buy, you have to enjoy the value for your money. And that is what we call satisfaction. What do I call it?
Satisfaction.
Which is utility. Utility. The amount of satisfaction you derive from the consumption of any commodity. So whatever you are buying, you're spending your money to buy, you have to derive satisfaction from it. And that's why I said they buy goods and services in exchange for money to satisfy their needs. And satisfaction is what? Utility. Enjoying the value for your money. I think you get the point there.
Yeah.
So for consumers, what is the conflict when it comes to consumers? They face conflict regarding how to spend their money. It is assumed that consumers do not have enough income. So because we don't have enough income, what should I buy? This or that, this or that, this or that. So we have to choose. So that is the conflict about consumers. We want to buy, but the conflict is, what should we buy? That's it. Do you get that? Then for businesses, they have their conflicts too. For businesses, what do? They want to maximize profit. Businesses want to what? Maximize profit. Consumers want to maximize utility. They want to maximize what? Maximize.
They want to enjoy it.
Maximize utility. But for businesses, they want to maximize what? Profit. It's different. Consumer maximize utility. Businesses or firms want to maximize profit. So they want to maximize profit. So what is the conflict about maximizing profit? They face conflict regarding how to reduce their cost. To maximize profit, you have to reduce cost. And there are different ways to reduce cost. You might reduce the numbers of your workers. It reduces cost. You might have to reduce the quality of your raw materials. It reduces cost. So which one should we do? If you are reducing the numbers of your workers, it might affect your productivity. That's conflict. If you are reducing the quality of your products because you want to make profit, the prices fall, yes. But customers might not be happy because you are not giving them the quality they wanted. So there's always conflict on how to reduce cost. Businesses want to maximize profit, yes. But the conflict about businesses is that they don't know what cost to reduce at any point in time. Clear? Is it clear or not? Great.
They reduce number of workers.
It's a problem. It might reduce productivity. If they want to reduce the quality of what they produce, it might affect their reputation as a business. They might lose customers.
They won't be happy. All right.
No, we have government, right?
Yeah.
For government, they want to maximize welfare. Government take care of everybody, not just Tripoli, Benghazi. No, government take care of Libya as a whole. So government wants to maximize welfare. But the problem is this: they face conflict regarding policy needed to be used. So if we want to build infrastructure, everybody's going to be happy about it. Some people will not still be happy. If you are building schools, will everybody be happy? No, not everybody. There's always going to be opportunity cost. So the conflict is, what should we do first with taxpayer money? Everybody's paying tax, and everybody wants government to do whatever they want, but government cannot do everything for everybody. So that is a conflict about government. Is it clear?
Yeah.
The NGOs, they want the society to be a better place. Yes, they want to help disadvantaged people, but there are different disadvantaged people. Some people don't have houses. Some people cannot eat. Some people don't have water. Some people don't have shelter. Some people don't have clothing. So which one should we do first? Do you get it?
Yes.
So they face conflict regarding which group to attend to urgently. So should we attend to those that do not have clothes first, or those that do not have houses first, or those that cannot feed first? Which one is so urgent? That is the conflict. Any question about conflict?
No.
So that takes us to division of labor and specialization. I'll be right back. So we go to division of labor and specialization. So for this, division of labor will lead to specialization. So what is division of labor? The breaking down of production process into different stages, and each stage is performed by different people. So let's say we have a school. We have the math teacher, we have the English teacher, we have the chemistry teacher, the bio, the economics, the business, accounting. They are doing different jobs. So the school has divided their jobs, has divided their roles. That is division of labor. So the math teacher continues to teach math. He becomes an expert in math. That is specialization. Do you get it? So start with division of labor. So I give you certain things to do. Then you continue to do it. Then you become better in it. Then you have become an expert in it. That's why they say division of labor leads to specialization. Does it make sense there?
Yeah.
So for division of labor, we call it the breaking down of production process into different stages. Let's assume we want to produce this pen. To produce this pen, some people will produce the cover. Some people will produce the ink. The cover. Yeah, so they will start producing it differently because when they do it differently, it becomes faster than everybody doing the same thing. It will take time. But here, so you continue to produce cover. When you are done with all covers, another person will do the ink and the rest. So that is what division of labor is. So they break the production process into different stages, and each stage will be performed by different people. Is division of labor clear? Now, specialization. Specialization means you concentrate on one aspect of production.
Like we said, teaching.
So there's division of labor, which allows you to do certain things. And now it becomes specialization because you concentrate on doing it. So this leads to this.
Get it, yeah.
You get it? So specialization is the concentration of individuals, firms, or government on one aspect of production. So Libya concentrates on production of oil. So that is Libya specialization. Some schools or businesses produce electricity. That is their specialization. So that is what division of labor or specialization is about. So specialization does not only mean individuals. It also means businesses and also government. That's a country. Is specialization clear? Any question about specialization? Now go to the advantages of specialization. Are you there?
Yeah.
The first one, it leads to efficiency. How does specialization lead to efficiency? It leads to efficiency because you are doing what you know how to do. You will not waste resources. You're not wasting
resources.
Lack of wastage. You're not going to waste resources. It's just like I'm a teacher and you want me to barb your hair. Do I know how to barb your hair? I will waste your resources. I will waste your hair because I will spoil it. So there's efficiency because that individual is doing what he knows how to do best. Efficiency. 2, time is saved as workers don't have to switch for jobs. So I go into the class, I'm teaching business, I teach business. You know, it's not like you're telling me to teach chemistry. I will have to look at it to teach, look at it to teach. So I'm wasting time. So time is saved. That's another advantage of a division of labor. And the third one, workers specialize on what they know how to do best.
Mm-hmm.
So they will be happy
Yes.
because I'm doing what I know how to do best.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's how. It's okay, we'll move on.
Yeah.
Disadvantages now. For disadvantages, we're talking about the problems we could face when it comes to division of labor.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, workers may underestimate the role of others. So I'm a business teacher. Oh, you're a physics teacher. The physics teacher might say that, oh, business is easy. So the business teacher is not doing anything. Then there will be conflict.
Yeah.
I might say, oh, the chemistry teacher is not doing anything. There might be conflict.
Yeah.
Because we're not doing the same thing, you will underestimate what others are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Or others might underestimate what you are doing because you're not doing the same thing.
Right.
So that is the first problem about this division of labor. That could bring about industrial, we call it industrial conflicts.
Mm-hmm.
So people might start fighting themselves at workplace because they feel that they are doing more than others. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
The second one, it may lead to lack of flexibility because I'm a business teacher. I might find it difficult to teach math.
Yeah.
Oh, we need a math teacher, but I cannot teach math. Though I do math, I do statistics, but most of the time, because you are specialized on one aspect,
Mm-hmm.
you become rigid. You cannot do other things.
Yes.
That is what division of labor will bring about. The third one, workers may get boredom. When you continue to do the same thing, you get tired of doing the same thing. But for teaching, for me, I've been teaching for the last 12 years. I love teaching. I will continue. But most jobs might repeating the same thing might make you to feel bored or tired of doing it. So that is the third problem about division of labor. The first one is that you might underestimate the work of others, or others might underestimate your work. The second one is that you might lack the flexibility to do other things. And another one is that you might be replaced by machines.
Yeah.
Because if you are a specialist, it simply means that they could do a specialist machine.
You could do better than machine.
They could do, oh, you teach business. They could find a machine that can teach business. Do you understand? Because it is a specialist. You are a specialist. It means they can find an equipment or machine that would replace you. That's another problem. Do you understand?
Yeah.
We call it over specialization. What do I call it? Over specialization. Over specialization. That's another problem. So you can be replaced. The next one is that you lack flexibility. You might not be able to do other things. And boredom. You get tired. When you repeat the same task every now and then, you could get tired of doing it. That's about division of labor. Any question about it? So that takes us to cost benefit analysis, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So for cost benefit analysis, we're simply talking about making decisions because we have to make decisions. But in the course of making these decisions, we have to think about the cost and the benefit of that decision we are making. That is what cost benefit analysis is. So we make the decision because the benefit is greater than the cost. Does it make sense here? Good. So that takes us to private. So what is cost benefit analysis? It is the process of considering the cost and benefit of an action in the course of making decision. The cost, the benefit of an action when you are making that decision. Clear? Then we have cost. We have private cost and we have external cost. Why do we call it private cost? We call it private cost because it's the cost for the decision you make. Example, you buy raw materials. You have to pay for raw materials. That is the cost, private cost. Businesses buy raw materials, they have to pay for it, private cost. They employ workers, they have to pay for it, private cost. And there's external cost, which is the cost to the third party who are not involved in the decision making. So there's a company. A company has a power plant generator. It pollutes air. It's the company that buys the generator, but the sound of the generator makes noise to us. That is external cost. We did not buy the generator, but the generator is making noise and disturbs our sleep. That is external cost. The cost to the third party who is not involved in the decision making. You get the difference here? Then we have private benefits. For private benefit, we're talking about the gain to the decision maker. Like you employ workers, you are a business, you make profit. Profit is your private benefit.
Money.
Yes. That's why we say it is again to the economic agent that makes the decision.
Mhm.
Then we have external benefit, which is benefit to the third party. A school, they built a school. Because they built a school, you're able to be educated. It's an external cost, external benefit, which could also lead to social benefits.
Mhm.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So you didn't make the decision, but for the fact that somebody has made the decision and it's beneficial to you, it's an external benefit.
Good. Yeah.
Do you get it? External. Then we have macro and microeconomics, right?
Mhm.
Okay, I talked about private costs and so we have microeconomics and macroeconomics.
Mhm.
So why do we call it macroeconomic? We call it macroeconomic because it studies the economy as a whole. It studies aggregate demand, aggregate supply. That is macroeconomic. Then we have micro, which is individual market, which is demand and supply. So micro studies the individual market, macro studies the economy as a whole. That's the difference. Macro is the economy as a whole, micro is the individual market.
All right.
Any question about that? So that ends chapter 2, right?